Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates and Allah Azza wa Jalla destroys. Allah moves and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds still. They do not have the capacity to move anything. So what makes them think they're going to be able to move their plan along when just like the mountains are set firm, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree is already set firm. It's a powerful example that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to us in multiple places in the Qur'an. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ. And once again, just like they think that they're deceiving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He's deceiving them, likewise, they are making their plans, their makr, وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making His plans to undermine them, to catch them by surprise. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of those who plot. These ayat came in regards to Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, Jesus peace be upon him. Right? So Isa alayhi salam, his enemies, when they came together and they said, we're going to crucify him. And you can imagine the element of surprise when Isa alayhi salam descends upon this earth once again and he never was crucified. But we saw him on the cross. We killed him. Right? وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُ. They thought they killed him. They thought they crucified him. But it was only made to appear that way to them. So subhanAllah, you notice here a common theme already, that as long as it goes, it could go for years, centuries, generations, but the makr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always overcome theirs. The plan of Allah will always be superior to theirs. When Isa alayhi salam comes descending once again to this earth, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants victory on the hands of Isa alayhi salam, even when people thought that they humiliated him and they crucified him on a cross. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows that their plan failed and His plan succeeded. So al-makr is this idea that your enemies think, and Allah Azza wa Jalla was speaking about them when they're plotting and they're thinking about how they're going to kill the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they're whispering and they're in Dar al-Najwa and they're talking to themselves. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears every single thing that they're saying. Their plan is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they think if they talk lower, He won't hear them. Right? They think if they use sign language, then they can deceive the divine. It's not working. وَعِنْدَ اللَّهِ مَكْرُهُمْ. Allah Azza wa Jalla already has it with Him. Right? The third one, and this is the one that we're going to spend a little bit of time with, is al-kayd. Now the ulama mentioned about al-kayd, and subhanAllah, there have been books written about these three different things, by the way, and the tafsir is rich on it. Al-kayd, which is a plan, is sort of like the comprehensive strategic plan. So it can include an element of al-khida' an element of al-makr. So it's sort of like the wholesome plan, the whole strategy. They've got the whole roadmap planned out. It can be hidden or it can be public. The point is that they've got their plan put together. They've got their strategy put together. The scheme is there, and it includes the elements of deception, the elements of power, and they're ready to execute. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّهُمْ يَكِيدُونَ كَيْدًا وَأَكِيدُ كَيْدًا. They plan their plan, and I too am planning. Some of the scholars say that of the power of these ayat, by the way, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say, and Allah plans too. Allah said, and I too am planning. They're planning, and I too am planning. فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلْهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. Leave them. Leave them. And subhanAllah, the next surah is سَبِّحِ اسْمَ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى. Focus on glorifying your Lord. Glorify and praise your Lord, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of them. Leave them to me. And look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about al-kayd. إِنَّ كَيْدَ الشَّيْطَانِ كَانَ ضَعِيفًا. That the kayd, the plan of the devil, is weak. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأُمْلِي لَهُمْ إِنَّ كَيْدِي مَتِينٌ. My plan, and mateen is a hard word to translate, by the way, but it is stable. There are no cracks in it. There is absolutely nothing that can cause the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unravel. So they've got their plan and they think it's bulletproof. And at the end of the day, it's weak. It will fall apart in places that they don't understand and in ways that they don't understand. As for my plan, it is mateen. It's perfect. Perfect, and it cannot be defeated, it cannot be overcome. Now, subhanAllah, the ulama mentioned several benefits of this as well, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans against the oppressor and He plans for the oppressed.